apply my foundation, and I will be back when it is time to throw on my concealer so that you can see how this applies. Okay, I threw on some foundation, did my brows, and applied a little bit of cream blush, and now I'm doing my concealer. I'm using the shade 8B. This is a very bright under eye concealer. I like it to be a few shades lighter just because I really like a highlighted under eye look, and that is just a personal preference. If you don't like yours to be this bright, just order it in a darker shade. But because I have such bad under eye bags, I feel like it helps camouflage the shadow that is cast by my under eye bags. I'm just gonna let this sit and get tacky for about 30 seconds. This just helps it dry down a little bit and the concealer to adhere to your face so you get better coverage because your sponge is not going to pick it up as much. Now you just start to blend it out. One layer blended out I think already looks so much better. You could totally throw on some powder and call it good. I like to stack my concealer. I'm going to build it up a little bit. I'm going to take one more layer. Sometimes I do one more layer. Sometimes I do 2 layers. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day and how I feel the second coat looks. And this time I just take a tiny bit and I don't let it dry down. And we just blend it out immediately. I always take whatever is left to and blend it over the top of my nose and down the center. And look at how much that helped just to have a second layer. Of course, we are filter free, but you can see just how much better that looks. Now, I want to show you something, okay? These lines underneath my eyes, you see how the product's kind of building up in there? How you get rid of that is you make a surprise face. Raise your eyebrows and open your mouth, and it stretches those lines out. And then you can get your beauty blender in there and tap out those creases. And then when you powder, you want to do the same thing so that all of the powder gets in there and that cream product does not sit in there unpowdered. Because if it's not set down, what's going to happen is it's going to start to look really creepy and gross. Just to show you, it is doing it on this eye. Okay, blend again, and I'm going to show you how those lines right there can be blended out just by stretching them out and making sure your beauty blender gets in there. You see how the product's not caking up in there now? Now I am going in with my sponge, dipping it in. This is the side I blended the concealer out with. I'm going with the other side. And again, making that surprised face. That way the powder gets in those lines and it doesn't continue to crease and settle. I'm not baking, I'm just pressing this powder into the skin. I'm not leaving a cast of powder there. Okay, this is what it's looking like at this stage of my makeup. Obviously, I don't have eyeshadow, bronzer, highlighter, any of that on, so I'm gonna finish up my makeup and show you what this looks like at the end. I do feel like this technique always looks so much better the longer it sits on your face. I think it just gives the powders and the creams a chance to really bind and melt together. So if it looks a little bit dry, which you can tell under my eyes, it looks a little bit dry here. By the time I'm done doing my makeup, I don't have that anymore. Also, I use a setting spray and that helps significantly too. Right, here it is, filter free, no beauty mode on, nothing. You can see all of my fine lines, my texture. You can see my under eye bags if I tip my head down. But from head on, tell me Shape Tape doesn't work magic. It does, every time. Every time I use it, I'm like, oh, it's magic. Somebody sprinkled some magic into this because it's just working too good.